like a wildfire over there. We think it's probably Bear Heath, just the other side of Bear Regis. Hopefully someone's on top of it. Fingers crossed it's not going to spread. Busy site today. For the last 2 days of the official dig. There are some spaces for volunteers next week if anyone wants to come up. But yeah, hive of activity. Loads of features to get finished and recorded, and not a lot of time to do it. Holly. Oh, hello. Afternoon, just come up to lunchtime. So on Friday last week I was on this section here, this quadrant, and now we're at a point where you can see there's a very dark layer across the top here, and you can also see that coming through here. That's where all the finds have been from, and they've been firmly Roman. There's been some Samian ware, black burnish ware, I think a bit of Sedo as well, which is southeast Dorset orange white ware, so late Roman. And there's a chalk cap that sort of sits over this whole pit, and we may have a set of intercutting pits. It's a very difficult one to unpick with all this redeposited stuff over the top, but this side of it, there's a deep pit here, then a ridge of natural, and then it starts to go down again. There's an odd shape here as well, which has been half sectioned so you can see the fill of it, which I think is coming through on this side here. I'm just starting to get down into this fill. I've got the cut coming down there, hoping that drops quite steeply soon to match that side. So we will see. I am starting to get more kitchen scraps and kitchen waste from this area here. Just a small amount, nothing. Nice piece of black burnish ware with a rim. Another piece which may well be from the same pot. They look quite a similar profile. And just some bone. Been split open for the marrow, so that's a fresh break unfortunately, but that break there is an old one. I think that connects, I think that piece connects onto there. Yeah, it does, there we go. So there you go, that's been smashed open to get the marrow out of it, all the way down. So we're firmly into kitchen waste here, domestic kitchen waste. But we're going to try and start chasing this cut. This is natural, coming down here, and it's starting to drop a bit there, so I'm hoping it drops down quite steeply. But we will see. I've got to stay in tomorrow to try and get to the bottom of this. Fingers crossed for some sort of primary deposit on the bottom that might be dateable, and then it'll give us a date for when this feature went out of use at least and started to be filled with rubbish. So let's see how we go. So here's a very bizarre one. There's 2 ditch cuts that run down the site. You can see them all sectioned there. There's one here that's quite narrow, which I think is a later one, and the earlier ditch cut is here, running off down the site. But cut into it is this very strange pit that looked quite much like a grave cut early on. I thought it was going to be Roman, and then it kept going down and kept going down, and poor John was in it deeper than he is tall. And just at this end of it was a pig burial, a whole articulated pig. No idea why, there was nothing in the whole pit. It's a very bizarre thing to do. But you can see on the section drawing how strange a cut it is. So there's one cut of the ditch, which would have come all the way, and then it would have come all the way across. And then it's been recut. And this deeper one is, we still don't know if this ditch is cut over the top of this pit or if this put's cut through the ditch. Anyway, it's a very bizarre one. One of many strange things on site this year. Just finished afternoon tea break. We are still going. This is natural, but there seems to be a cut there, and that is still very soft. So we're still going down. I'm just going to carry on removing this back to the section line as well. I'm determined to find the bottom of this before tomorrow. Before the end of the day tomorrow at least. We'll see. According to the geophysics, about a 1.2 at the moment, maybe. So we'll see. So this is where I entered Thursday. So tomorrow morning I want to cut a section down here, cut the rest of this out, and that layer there, you just see it down here, it's starting to come through to another cut. So potentially that could be a 2 metre area coming around like this, big bit, perhaps in the centre. We'll see what that looks like when I get this out. I should get this out by tea break, first tea break. Anyway, good day's work. Bearing in mind it was up at this level this morning. So while we've been here this year, a metal barn has been removed that was hiding these flint walls with the brick above. But these must be the barns, or the remains of the barns that are on the 1881 Ordnance Survey map at this point. There would have been another building behind that's long since disappeared. But these ones do look to be that sort of period. Flint on the bottom and brick above. Anyway, that's all that's left of them. And I think they're probably going to be gone pretty soon. I'm sure the farmer's sticking up a new structure here, so yeah. I think this field's a cover crop of fat hen, wild mustard, maybe some radish seeds left over from last year. But it's absolutely covered in cabbage white butterflies. Lovely.